Greetings and salutations. Good evening, everyone. Happy Mommy Mondays. As you can see, Kia Ortiz is here. I'm excited. I always enjoy these times that we get to go live, that we can connect. And so, if you are returning to Mommy Mondays, welcome back. Let us know that you're here, where you're coming from. Also, feel free to post any questions throughout today's conversation. And if you are new, welcome. We're so excited to have you as part of Mommy Mondays. This is a place where we have honest, transparent conversations about topics that matter to us as mothers, our children, our dreams, fashion, things on our minds, just anything you possibly can talk about that is meant to encourage one another, enlighten each other, and to educate. And so, I'm going to give you guys a few moments to chime in, as well as a few moments to make sure that you guys can hear me properly. Um, Today, I would love for you guys to comment, share this out. You know, I don't ask that every time we go live, but this one is about someone that is very near and dear to my heart. And so we want to celebrate, we want to support one another, because here at Mommy Mondays, we believe in supporting one another and celebrating things that are happening in our life. And so please share this out. Give us a few moments. Okay. I learned a long time ago, those that have been rocking with us since Mommy Mondays began, I used to live out in the forest, middle of nowhere. So there were several times that we were live and I was talking to myself. So now I'm always making sure that you guys can hear me and see me okay. Hi, Mama Annette. God bless you. Love you. Sending tons of love. We have a rain light on our live today. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that once we get going, there's no interruptions. Okay. All right, so let's get going, guys. Okay. Look, I'm talking about sharing this out, and my computer wants to be a little slow. Let's see. Okay. All right, so you guys were in for a treat. Audrey Jones, author of Ageless Blessings, has put her book now out and on Amazon. You can get it there. I will put in the chat where to find this book. But I am so excited about this labor of love because I've known Audrey for a long time. However, in reading this book, I felt like I didn't know her at all the many different things that this woman has done. We're talking about Jet magazine model. Okay. We're talking about someone that has been in movies, has been in settings and on sets with many of the people and actresses and celebrities that you know and love. This person, okay, somebody that I've cleaned a church with, has done all the things and is still doing all the things. And I had no idea until this book. And so today we're going to bring her on to share with us a little bit about her story, share about her projects and the upcoming projects that she has going on. And I want you guys to really listen to today's conversation and envision your dreams, your aspirations, so you could be inspired and encouraged as well to tell your story. All right. So without further ado, I'm still holding up. This was a good read, y'all. And there's a sidebar for those people that like to read. It's a short read. It's a good read, and it's one of those type of reads that you're just reading and you're just like, wow, you're just continuing to learn so much about her and life in general, because it's also a workbook. So for my critical thinkers, this is for you. So without further ado, Miss Audrey Jones.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Kia. be laughing for sure, as always. How are you,
Yes,
sweetie?
I am good. I am like over the moon because I remember when you told me about starting this book, and I was like, "What? Is
Um,
it out yet?" Like I was ready to support. I was ready to get you. No, not yet. And so the moment you're like, "Hey, it's out," I'm like, "Ooh!"
and then I was like, wait, don't tell nobody yet.
And so, I'm excited because I get to not only share this to our fellow Raymites, big ups to our Upper Marlboro Rayma family.
Yes,
Um,
hello, Rima.
we love and miss you guys. But I'm also excited to share this with the world because a lot of people don't know. I mean, people can see us, you now, and never know the story of what it took to get here. And
Right.
so to know that you're sharing this testimony about trusting timing and God's promises, I was thoroughly encouraged even now where I'm
Awesome.
at today. So I'm excited to share. So that's why the
Awesome.
good.
You're so awesome.
Amen. I want us to start first with tell us a little bit about your story without giving the book away.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Without giving the book away.
Yeah,
Well, it's about losses and accomplishments. I've had a lot of losses, unfortunately, as most of us do. And I've had a lot of accomplishments, as you have read in the book. And, although you have losses, you can still push forward to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life. And so the book is me telling my story, but at the same time, encouraging everyone to move forward in their dreams and aspirations. And like you said, it is a workbook too. So I may say something about what I went through and then ask you, to write down something that you can relate to. And then I tell you how I overcame that thing, whatever it is, and then how you can overcome it. So it's definitely a book of encouragement. Definitely something to help you get through the things that you're going through, because we all go through something, you
Yeah.
know. Some people don't know how to deal with those things, and they look at you and say, wow, I didn't know you went through that. And that's because, I'm just going along with life. Sometimes there's just things you can't change. So you just go ahead and push forward and do the next level thing that you want to do. And I just focus on, my accomplishments, the things that I wanted to achieve, and just kept doing it. And I just love helping people get to the next level. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. So I'm super
Yeah,
excited.
because I mean, that goes just in line with what I know you to be. I know you to be the type of person that is not always about me, me, me. I mean, come on. I didn't even know. I knew you modeled. I knew that you acted, but I didn't know
Mhm.
like that. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, the amount of humility that it takes
Oh,
to be in that space, but then also, and we mentioned this earlier about the meekness. Like you're not the type, and I know a lot of people nowadays they don't always want advice. You're not the type to be like, "Oh, I did that. I know how
right,
to
right.
do it this way." You're not that type of person. You're really a type
Mhm.
of person that listens and okay, let me look at my bag, my arsenal of
Yeah,
experiences, and pull out something that may help you. Take it or leave it, but it's here.
right, right. And,
And
I
so
like to help people get through those challenges.
yeah,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. So I know there's several women that are going to hear this now and later that
Mm-hmm.
have thought about writing their own book,
Ooh,
have heard people say, you should write a book. And you kind of dismiss it because I think it's one of those things that because we don't know a lot about it, we
yeah.
can dread it. So I really want you to tell the people how long it took you to write this book.
Well, Kia, to be honest with you, it only took me a few months, I should say, because when I start writing, I get into a zone and I just write, it
Mhm.
just flows. I mean, I've written stage plays, I've written before, so it wasn't something new to me. But
Mhm.
when I get into that zone, I just write. And The part that took the longest was publishing it. So there's a difference. You know, you can write fast and you can get it done quickly. I mean, I can even tell you how to write a book in 7 days. I mean, the writing is the easy part, you know, but it's the publishing. So it took me about, I would say about 8 years to put it out. Yeah. And that was more so me getting in my own way, as we all do, right? Fear, like, oh God, I don't want people to know everything about me, you know. So, you know, those type of hesitations, you're like, ooh. But I just stepped out on faith, and I just said, you know what? This is not for me. I got to put it out there. So I did.
Yeah, like it's like enough's enough. I gotta get out of this space. So
Yeah.
then what gave you hope to stick with it and not give up on what you feel that God has done in this project?
People. Whenever I mentioned the book to different people and what it was about, you know, they were just like, oh my gosh, when are you going to put it out? And I was like, oh. And then, you know, I mentioned it again. I need to read this. You know, people need to read this. And I'm like, oh, what are you waiting on? So, yeah, it was the pressure from people. And then I began to realize, okay, my story is not just my story, is not just for me. And I had to really step out on faith and say, okay, God allowed me to go through some things so that I can help others who may experience the same thing. So because I knew people wanted it and they needed it, I said, okay, I'm going to step out of my way and I'm going to do what God has told me to do. And like I said, 8 years. And, you know, I always talk about time. We really don't have a lot of time. You know, we think we do, but we don't. So I encourage everyone, if it's something that you want to do, don't wait, because you may be passing up someone that needs to hear it. And I just give this one example. I was on a webinar a couple of weeks ago, and this guy, he wrote a book. And his friend that he wanted to read the book the most, but the guy kept putting it off. He just kept putting it off. He wrote it, kept putting it off. And right before he published it, the guy, his best friend or whoever it was, passed away. So he didn't even get a chance to read it. And that's because he kept putting it off. So I would say, if there's something that you want, you know, your parents to see you accomplish, grandparents, family, friends, whomever, you know, go ahead and get it done, because we don't know how long they're going to be here, and we don't even know how long we're going to be here. But the glorious thing about a book is that it could be around forever. You know, a book is something that you could pass down from generation to generation, from person to person, libraries. I mean, it can stay around forever. So to have your name on a book and then your words in the book, that is just phenomenal. Can't ask for anything.
Especially because when you think about, you know, being a mom, this is legacy that you've written.
Exactly. You're absolutely correct.
I love that, especially when we think about, this is something I left for my children, like a manual in a way of sort. I feel like this is for your son. This is a manual of, this is how you hold on to hope. This is how you pray through. This is how you stay encouraged. This is how you don't stay stuck. I love in the back of the book where you said, by the end of this book, you will feel better about yourself. Be ready to work on your dreams that others, including yourself, try to kill, steal, or destroy.
Yes.
And so in your book, you talk about haters. You know what I mean? You know, for your son, for me to read that and know how to navigate that gracefully, we don't really see those conversations. We see, you know, you give back the same energy somebody gives you. And so how you navigate that, that's a legacy piece for him, for us. And so I really appreciate how you were transparent about some things, because we always want to show the good things,
Right.
you
Right.
know? So
Yeah.
I appreciate the
Yeah.
transparency. So when someone reads this book, because I really, though I think everybody can glean from it, I was excited to bring you to Mommy Mondays because one, it's a lot of females and also mothers that give up on their dreams or give up on some
Mhm.
things or have some struggles that they think that they're the only one. And so, what are two takeaways that you hope women, especially those struggling with infertility, to take away from your message of ageless blessings?
Well, Kia, I want to thank you because after you read the book and you shared some of the things you gleaned from it, I was like, wow, people get different things from it.
Mhm.
And it was just such a joy to hear, the different feedback. And even some of the people that have read it already, it's just like, wow, you write these things and you really don't know how it's going to help or affect someone. So I definitely appreciate your feedback and the things that you have to say. So the two things that I would say is the first thing is don't rush God.
That part.
You cannot rush what God has for you. Everything is going to happen in its time. But we live in a society that is fast paced. We are exposed to social media, and everyone is showing they have this, they have that, and you want that, and you want this. So you want
Mhm.
it fast, but it may not be time for you to have that thing.
Yeah.
So, you have to go through the process. If you get things too soon, you may mess it up, or it
Come
just
on.
be the right time, right? So
Yes.
you may not be mature enough, you may not be experienced enough. There just may be some things that you need to experience and, like you said, go through the process before you get that thing.
Yeah.
You know, um, as far as infertility, you know, um, I wasn't infertile, but I had multiple miscarriages. So with that, you have to trust God. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just may mean not now.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, you said two things. So that
Yeah.
was one. And the other thing is to know that you're not alone. You
That.
know, there's so many people that don't share what they're going through. Like you said, they'll share the good, but not the bad.
Yeah.
So when I had my miscarriage, I would, people would ask, "Do you want to have kids? Are you going to have any kids?" And it's like, okay, you really don't know what I went through. So
Right. It's
then,
not. Yes. Go ahead. Sorry, that struck a nerve, but go ahed.
yeah.
Amen.
So, I would say, yeah, I do. I had a miscarriage. And then I was so surprised that most of the people I said that to, they would then share, "Oh, I did too." And these are people who had kids. So of course I didn't think twice about it. And I was like, wow, really? I was like, oh my gosh. Of
Yeah.
course that's not something people broadcast. You don't just walk around saying, "Oh, I had a miscarriage."
Right. Right.
So I'm not saying that, but you know, um, that's the reason I wanted to write this book, because I wanted people to know that you're not alone. Okay. There are going to be things that you're going to go through that other people have gone through. And trust me, it's more than we think.
Yeah.
As I, being an author of this type of book and talking to different people, whew, you're just so surprised that so many people have encountered these experiences. But like I said, they're not yelling it through the rooftops, so you wouldn't know. But you read it in the book, I'm going to tell you, This is what a lot of people have gone through. This is what you can do, to help your situation. Some tests that you could take, things of that matter. But even with that, Kia, like the book also, you can miscarry your dreams. You can miscarry the things that you want to do in life. You may do it prematurely. You may abort it. You may abandon it. And
you can wait too long and have a stillbirth.
Right. So, a lot of people miscarry their own dreams and aspirations. So, you get in your own way. And a lot of people also think that if something doesn't happen by a certain age, that they're no longer worthy, or they think it's not going to happen. Yeah. Hence the title of my book, Ageless Blessings, because blessings can come at any age. So again, you can't rush God. You can't rush the process. You can't rush the timing. Yeah. Because when it happens, you're going to be like, wow, I've arrived. I have this thing. I have this project. I have this business. I have whatever it is that you want. It has finally come to pass. And you're going to be like, wow, I didn't trust God. And that's what you just got to live life. And that's what I'm saying. Like, through my losses, I didn't focus on the losses. I focused on moving forward with the things that I wanted to accomplish in life. Mm-hmm. You just can't dwell in that place. And again, like Kia mentioned, it's a workbook. So I help you navigate through some of those things. So yeah, I hope I wasn't too long-winded, but
no, it is perfect and so well said. A few things that highlighted for me is the being alone. And then scripture even tells us that we can sound right in our own mind. And that includes convincing ourselves that we're the only one. Mm-hmm. And when you said that about other people, I think we've come accustomed to being entitled to people's story, in the sense of people just automatically assume that once you get married, you're supposed to have kids. A lot of people don't understand how sensitive and personal getting pregnant and carrying a baby to full term is. Right. Even on down to, we did not tell people that we told our closest people, but we didn't go publicly, that I was pregnant with Ava until we were 26 weeks or 30 seconds. Yeah. Because the first thing a lot of people say, oh, you fertile. Oh, I know what y'all like to do. Or, that's a lot of kids. Like, all the negativity. I ain't asking you to birth my baby. I ain't asking you to carry I ain't asking you to take care of it, pay for it, nurture it. It ain't none of your business. If it ain't celebrating me, mind your business. You know what I mean? And the process. But also people nowadays, infertility is a huge issue. But because people suffer in silence, a lot of people could feel like it's personal, versus realizing creating life is such a delicate process. Very delicate and very personal. And I think because, promiscuity is out. Some people, I got pregnant from one night stand. Okay, with some of us, it takes some time. And I know even in our struggle, I felt like something was wrong with me, versus this is part of the process for me.
Part of the process, yes.
And so it is what it is. And now here we can go, that's one thing we connected on, was the, difficulty part. Now here we are, I got 4 kids. You got your son, you got a book, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, I've been there. But let me tell you where you can go if you hold on to hope. And trust the process. So I really like that you talk about that, in the sense of, it's not just about holding on to God's promise, but what are you doing in your waiting?
Exactly. And that's the thing. So people just wait and they're not doing anything else. And then they fall into depression, so you have to continuously grow. And that's part of the process too. What are you doing to grow yourself, to become a better parent? So there's so many aspects to it. And, you talk about people always rushing everything in your life. You know, I said it before, you graduate from high school, you go into college. You go to college, you graduate when you get married. You get married when you're having kids. You have the first kid, you know they need a playmate.
Oh
Where's
my
the
God.
second one? Then you have the second one. What? Are you going to have another one? You have 2 boys. Are you going to have a girl?
Oh my gosh.
So
Yes.
then you have 3 kids, right? And then they say, what? Oh my gosh, she having all those children. Like, wait a minute. You asking me all these questions, society.
So I was like,
Now I
okay,
have too many. And through that whole process, are you going to help me take care of these kids?
that
Yeah,
part.
yeah. And you know, that's
That
why you just got to live your life for yourself. You cannot base it on what others are doing. Everybody has a different time in their life of when things are going to happen. And that's why people get so depressed when things don't happen when they feel it should happen, or they see people on social media or their friends getting married, having kids. And it's like, you can't live your life focusing on other people's life. And I said, just because someone's married, just because someone have kids, doesn't mean they're happily married, right? It doesn't mean that the kids are not causing financial hardship. I mean, there's just so many different things. Maybe you're not at that level yet. Maybe you haven't met the right person yet. Maybe you don't have the finances yet. I mean, it's just so many things. I can't even speak on what the delay may be, but you just have to trust God and know that you have to go through the process, and your timing is definitely not his timing.
yes, I love it. CC Rhodes,
Hey, Cece.
what are you doing in your waiting? I think that is so crucial. And I love that you say ageless blessings, because I saw 2 things. And I know you talked about, there's not a, on your thing, on your timing, there's no expiration. But you also said, but get moving. You know what I mean? Because at the same token, you don't want to, your time, the time for this thing, because it's always our time. It's always our journey. It's always our process. But for when that time comes that this becomes necessary, CC says, hey, when that time comes necessary, you need to have that book in hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to have that. And so I encourage, in your waiting, if you are looking for encouragement, matter of fact, just get the book. This is something you do in your waiting, because this even blessed me, going back to school. I mean, I'm 36 years old,
Awesome.
and so a lot of my peers and counterparts that I'm in school with, they're very young, and I have to sometimes shut my mouth because I want to play mama. Like, I'm like, ain't my place. But it's ageless. What God has for us is us, and no matter what society tells us, as long as we're staying in alignment with Him, we did not miss a window. We did not miss an opportunity.
Right.
So I really love that. And so I know another thing I want to make sure we highlight before we get off is your next venture. This one, I'm not surprised that you're doing this, but it is what it is. Because I'm like, where did she get the time? You
That's
are
funny, 'cause
embarking.
everybody always say that. How do you have time to do all this stuff?
But God, you are now embarking on another venture to help women tell their story. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I am super excited about this. I've written my book, I've published my book, and I've also written another book, and I've published
Yes.
that. I've written some ebooks, so I've been through the process. So now I have started. Well, actually, before I say that, I've had people come to me to edit their books,
Oh,
and they have published their books as well. So I've been in that helping mode of, helping people get through that process. So
mhm.
it's not something new to me. I mean, this is over the years. So I have started a company called Your Book Solutions, where I now help you write your book. I don't help you do it, but I take you through the process, to keep you on task, to give you assignments, to give you challenges, to stay on task, to get it done. Because a lot of times life throws a curveball,
Yeah.
There are going to be distractions. There are going to be things that are going to happen. You may have doubts. You may say, forget it. I don't want to do it. But I have a Facebook community. It's a private community. If people want to join that, to help you stay on task so that you can finish what you set out to do. Again, we don't know how long we're going to be here. We don't know how long the people that we have our stories for is going to be here, and all of us have a story. All of us have an audience. Always. The little ones.
Love it. Look, we're here for it. It's life as a mouth.
This is reality, right?
It came out all spooky. I'm like, wait.
I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you this one little story. Oh my goodness. So I was at work and I was in a meeting. Sorry, he brought this up. So I'm not brought it up, but he made me think about this. And so I'm in this meeting with all the supervisors and directors and all that. And here comes Mr. Potato Head dancing in the camera. I'm like, really? Really? You put Mr. Potato Head in the meeting?
Oh my gosh, kids have a way of humbling us.
So for all you who want kids, expect this to happen.
Exhibit A. But it goes right along what we're talking about, because I think sometimes we pray for things and then when we get that thing, we forget God and we forget that we pray for it. And so those
Right.
the kids get on my nerves. I pray for them.
No, that's the things that come with the territory. That's it.
Yes. So you guys, I just put in the chat the her community for book writing community. Like she said, is your book solutions. I'm a part of it. You have convicted me even the more. Like, I know God is telling me, but just to sit down and write or just start, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you can get so distracted with so many things that you can forget it. So I'm looking for that reminder, so I joined the group. I'm really excited about that. You also have another book on how to write a book, right? Let me get the exact title. Let me see. Your book, the second book that she mentioned she had written is called, where is it? Complete.
That's okay. It's the seven pitfalls keeping you from publishing your book.
Yes. I wanted to pull up the picture.
Oh.
Yes. This is a great opportunity. And this is on Amazon as well, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So just look up Audrey Jones and just get all the books, put in your cart and purchase the book. Okay. Because we want to not just support this venture, but it's something for us all that we glean from, as far as being encouraged for our own ventures. And I know a lot of you have stories out here that God has told you to put on paper. And so you need that encouragement. So join the community, get the book, continue to cover Audrey in prayer, her and her family, as she continues to step out and do all the wonderful things that you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm super excited for you. And I'm just grateful for today.
Yes,
so
thank you, Kia. And I just want to say in regards to the community, because, some people are afraid to tell the story. But that's part of the community too. And things that I teach you is how you can write something, but not indicate that it's about you, So there's some different tactics that you can use. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to be I narcissist much, but so I like that idea. So look out for more from her, from the group, more authors and women just like you that have stepped out and say yes and started the process and took advantage of their waiting. So, is there any final words you would like to say?
I would like to say that if you have any goals, any aspirations, to not delay, just do it, just get it done. Just do it. I mean, I'm so serious, Kia. It's like I would not have accomplished as much as I have accomplished if I didn't just do it, And I think that's part of me encouraging people, you know, because I want to see them succeed. I want to see them do the things that they desire to do. So,
Yeah. I'm grateful. We need more cheerleaders in our corner.
yes,
So
we do. We do.
thank you,
So, hopefully,
Pioneer.
I'm sorry, go ahead, say. What'd you say,
No, I
Kia?
said thank you, Pioneer.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I definitely appreciate that. And we could drop the link for those who want to join the book writing
Yep,
community
I
because
dropped it.
awesome, because I definitely want to see authors come out of this, published authors. I'm just so excited. You know, I was telling Kia, I was like, I'm more excited for everybody else than for myself.
That's how it is, and that's the heart of a giver and heart really of a true mother. It doesn't just stop at having kids. It's just you want to see everybody grow and flourish and be who God calls them to be.
Yes,
And that's a blessing.
yes,
It really is.
absolutely.
So thank you guys so much for tuning in for Mommy Mondays today. Make sure you check out the book. Make sure you check out the community. Be encouraged. Your blessings are ageless. So
Amen.
I
Amen.
I really enjoyed this. So thank you again. Thank you to all of you. And remember to have a great week on purpose. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye.